Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a review of this little guy, and now this is the FPV model X-Racer KL-EX90. This is their newest micro brushless quad. It's obviously 90 millimeters, and it's rocking some pretty impressive components, so let's do a quick rundown of them. The frame is custom made for this guy. I haven't seen it anywhere else, and it is comprised of 2mm plates, top and bottom, but the bottom one is actually, the edges on it are chamfered, and the top is just left square. So it's pretty nice. It's a pretty decent frame, lightweight. It's got lots of cutouts in the middle, but I don't think there's going to be any issues with durability. I've been crashing this guy a ton, and nothing has broken on here, not even a single prop. The motors are the Dragonfly. Let's see if I can get these show. These are the Dragonfly MC1105 7500 kV motors. MC for microclass. So these are quite a bit bigger than the normal motors on like a Lizard, which are 1104, so they're an extra millimeter taller in stator, and they're 7500 kV, so these should be extremely powerful, which they are. In the middle, we got the Flycolor Raptor S tower, which is comprised of a little F3 flight controller up top, as well as a 4-in-1 ESC board of 12 amp ESCs in there, D-Shot 300, or I'm not sure if they do 600 or not, but it comes stock on 300, so I just left it alone. And that uses 20 by 20 mounting holes, so standard boards will not fit in here. But this does come as a sort of plug and fly or bind and fly model. You just need to add your receiver. Up front, we have the Runcam Micro Swift, which is really awesome that it included a full-size camera. It produces great video. Just like flying a 5-inch, the camera is just awesome compared to something that you'd normally get, like one of these micro cams and VTXs, which they will save some weight, but the video on these honestly is just crap, especially after flying one of these, so I'm extremely happy they went with that. Up top, we have the VTX, which is the Dragonfly 48-channel 25 milliwatt VTX, and it's just kind of sunk into this little cutout here, and there is a space right here where the button is that you can stick something down there to change the channels, and the bands and channel lights are right here, so you can tell what you're on. And now a lot of people are concerned about that, like what if you flip upside down in wet grass or something, but honestly I'm not concerned about it at all, because I've had probably over at least 10 crashes so far in wet environments, and it has been no issues at all. And even just in general, I don't really care about water. Even when I submerge things in water, the most I've ever had happen is I just have to let it dry out until it's completely dry and it works again. I've never burnt anything up from water, so I think it's perfectly fine as is. But I expressed the concerns to FPV model, and they are working on maybe changing that, or having it maybe, like, you know, come stock with heat shrink over it, or a 3D printed cover or something. The front and back sort of standoffs are 3D printed. There's nothing else in there. The screws just go into them. So after a while, these probably will strip out. So that's not the best, but hopefully they'll release these files, or at least sell these parts separately, so you can get new ones to thread into there. And then on the back we have that, and there's an LED in there. Once again, it does not come with a receiver. You need to add your own, so I put the FreeSky XM in there, but you can use an XM Plus. Same thing, just diversity on the Plus version, and it fits right above the top flight controller. You probably can't see it in there, but it's really easy to set up. You can just look up the wiring diagram. It was only S-bus, positive, 5 volts, and negative. There's a couple pads over here. Pretty easy. Let's get a weight for this guy here. And I have been flying it with the Turnigy Nanotech 3S 450 milliamp hour 65C batteries. I had to mod them and put an XT30 on, but the quad weight itself as is 74 grams, but that is with this hulking battery strap. I believe before, when I weighed it without the battery strap, it was 68 grams there. So it should be about under 100 grams all up with the battery. And it does come stock with an XT30, which is very, very nice. Definitely you would not be able to have enough current on a JST for this guy. It comes pre-set up in Betaflight, everything's ready to go, but it does have the stock Betaflight PID settings, and if you fly it on 2S, those actually might be okay, but on 3S it is in no way flyable. It just shakes to the moon. You have to go catch it really quick. So luckily, Albert Kim, his review on this I checked out, he actually did tune it a little bit for 3S, so I put those in and it flew pretty well. I just tweaked it a little bit from there. Here are my PIDs for that, but there'll be a link down below to Albert's video. Check that out. It's a really nice video. But yeah, I already did a line of sight flight for this guy because I was just so excited to get a video on it out, so you probably already know how well this thing flies. But in case you haven't seen that, let's roll some FPV footage of this guy through this micro swift, some DVR recording, and then we'll come back and finish up. Alright, so here we have some DVR recording from the KL-EX90, and this is the complete stock OSD settings. You can see it says fly color up in the top left because it does have the MW OSD built in. That shows your battery voltage, a little timer, and your mode, which is an acro here. I didn't mess with any of the settings, and I'm sure you can tweak this and add whatever you want, but I'm not a big OSD guy, so I just left it completely stock. So I'm just flying around here, just getting a feel for it after a couple batteries here. Getting used to the power curve of it. So you're just cruising around on 3S, it just has tons of power to give, and I was kind of actually hesitant to go to the actual 100% top throttle ranges, which I'll explain just a little bit after this DVR in the review there why, but I pretty much stayed, you know, 30 to 70% throttle the whole time. You can see it's getting around just fine. You can also check out the field of view on the RunCam Micro Swift here, the 2.1mm lens. Very good field of view, very easy, fun to fly with, and the colors and everything's complete stock. I didn't edit it, and it came out perfect. Like the FPV footage on this thing is amazing. So try to go through a little gap there, but I hit the branches, so get a second try in a minute here. And you can see it's just pretty much flying around almost just like a 5-inch would. Like, it's crazy that something this small has that much power to be able to do a lot of the type of flying that a 5-inch would normally do. So as you can probably tell, this thing flies insanely well. It's so fast and so powerful for a little tiny quad of this size. And now the OSD, there is a built-in OSD on the flight controller, but it is MW OSD, it's not Betaflight OSD. And I personally am not a huge fan of OSDs. I mean, they're nice, but I don't really want to go out of my way to do any of that. I normally don't even fly, I just fly with a standard timer on my radio. But it is definitely nice to see your voltage, and you definitely could adjust things if you wanted to get into that. But the power on this thing is just so fast and so powerful, and some people complained the Micro Swift is at a set angle, looks like maybe 25 degrees in this printed mount. You can't move it unless you printed a different mount. However, it has the 2.1mm lens on it, and I found that even at full speed, you could still see plenty far forward. Found that to be a really good camera angle for this guy. And the camera quality itself off the Swift was just amazing. Just like flying a regular 5-inch, it's just so much lighter, and the field of view was very good. Lots of field of view with minimal distortion. For the Vtx Transition, I had zero issues at all, just like I've had this Vtx before. It performs perfectly fine on 25 milliwatts. You're going to get, I don't know, maybe at least 500 feet away. You shouldn't have any problems with it, so don't be scared off that it's only 25 milliwatts. Like I said before, I'm using these Turnigy Nanotech 3S 450 milliamp hour 65C batteries. I'm not sure if these can really take it and handle the power so much of this guy, the current, because these were coming down quite hot, and if I was sort of pushing it, I'd only get 2, maybe 3 minutes of flight time, which isn't that bad, but definitely it does, these large powerful motors, higher kV, definitely do draw more power, but for the flight performance and the handling, I think it's definitely worth it. Now, I'm not sure if I showed it at all in the flight footage. I don't know if I have it recorded in DVR at all. But this back left, I think it's this back left motor. Sometimes when I arm, it'll like stutter for a few seconds. It'll sort of do that, and then it'll start spinning with the rest and have no issues. But a couple times, I think it was maybe 4 or 5 so far. If I do like a full throttle punch out and hold it for just a little bit, and it oscillates a little bit with the PIDs. Sometimes it'll just do it like a flip of death, like 6 of them real quick, and usually it'll recover. So I'm not sure if that's this motor or the ESC stuttering, because this one definitely does stutter sometimes right before I arm it, and then it starts spinning. But I raised the minimum throttle percentage from, I believe they have it stock 4.5. I think I changed it to 5 or 6, and that definitely did help. But I'm still kind of a little scared to push it because I don't want this guy going down in the ground. But in all those crashes, this thing has held up insanely well. Not a single breakage on this. Even the props. They still have the 3 spare sets of props they give you. These GemFan 2035 props they give you. Look at this. You can bend them straight down and then bend them straight back up. And they don't crease. You can just really quick line them up. These are just amazing props. They are the most durable prop I've ever seen because you can literally just bend it all out of shape, put it right back, and it'll be perfectly balanced as long as you just get it straight. Like, the pitch doesn't change unless you severely twist it, but very good choice for props on this guy, as well as they're super powerful. So a lot of you are probably going to be comparing this to the Lizard 95 or the AR Fun Pro 95. I believe that's those two other very popular 2-inch micros right now, and I don't have either of those. However, once again, I'll leave a link down below to Albert Kim's review. I believe he has both of them. I know he at least has the Lizard, and this is his favorite so far. With these motors, 1105, 7500 kV on 3S, this thing is just insane. I don't know if anything can beat it right now. Now, the price on this is quite a bit higher than some of other similar micros. You know, I believe it's $180 from FPV model, but it does come pre-built everything. It's got really high quality components for this size class. You know, the frame is nicely cut. The Micro Swift is so much better than one of these little guys. Just trust me, the video on this is definitely worth the extra few bucks. And you know, the bearings and the motors, everything, it's just super powerful and good quality. And, you know, I really definitely do recommend this, guys. So there'll be a link down below. Please subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you in the next one.